Hello guys, welcome back to Java Devs. Today we are going to look at yet another interesting code snippet, which I believe will be quite an interesting watch for you. As you all know, when we discuss our code snippet, we try to go into details, explain the fundamentals behind the output that we see. So without wasting time, guys, this is going to be an OOP session and I hope you enjoy it. Without wasting time, let's get to business. So as you can see on the screen here, we have two classes, main and then animal class. You can see that animal class below here just have one static variable name, which is initialized to dog, and int age equals to 2000, and then as well as a constructor to initialize those two variables. Then a simple class main with a main method that initializes animal object, that creates an object and initializes those fields accordingly. Then we also have line 9, which creates an object on the fly, doesn't get assigned to anything, so which makes it immediately available for garbage collection. Then we are just displaying the output. So guys, before I explain this code, I would like for a moment to pause this video and try to guess what the output of this application would be. I know you're already thinking, the output is going to be cow, then 30. If that's what you thought, I'm afraid that you are wrong. The output here is going to be cat, then 30. Let's run the code just to see. Oh my goodness. We have cat and 30. What is happening here? So guys, this is a trick question that requires you to know the difference between static and instant variable. Static and instance variable. So we know that instance variable belong to an object, but static belongs to a class. That's one of the major differences that every developer knows about these two. Another thing that you should know about static fields or static variables is that they are given values during class loading. So there's what we call class loader subsystem. This class loader subsystem is divided into 3 subsections, which is loading, then we have link, then we have initialize. The first section, which is loading, is also consisting of 3 phases, which is bootstrap class loading, extension class loading, then application class loading. So the last one, which is application class loading, deals with the code for the developer. Like now we have class main and class animal. This is where your code will actually get to be injected or loaded into the memory. The first two, which is bootstrap class loader and extension class loader, it's given to you by the API or by Oracle, or the JDK does it for you, because essentially it's the API classes that comes with the JDK or the JVM for you, for JDK for you as a developer. Then the second phase of the class loader subsystem, which is link phase, also consists of 3 subsections, which is verification, then prepare phase, and the last other option. I'm not gonna explain all these components of the class loader subsystem, as this is not the purpose of this video tutorial. I'm only going to mention the first two of the link phase, which is verification and the prepare phase. We are only interested in the prepare phase. The verification is only about bytecode verification. You know, is this bytecode compatible with the version of the installation we have, or is this bytecode does it not contain dangerous code? Will it not exploit our resources and stuff like that? Is it a legitimate bytecode that was actually generated by the legitimate JDK and stuff like that? Then we have prepare phase. That's where now all the static fields are given values, are allocated memory in the JVM. So if we had this code like this, the allocation of memory will happen with default value. But since we already given value, at that time we will give it the correct values would actually be given. So having explained the class loading part, let's get back to the question that is before us. So we see here when we create this object animal, we know that at that time we have name initialized first to dog during class loading. Then when the object gets created at runtime, it gets a new value of cat. So at this line, excluding all these others, the value of name actually equals to cat, because the last update to name variable, which is static, happened at this moment. And since we said a static variable does not belong to an object, you should think of it like a global variable. So if one object changes it, all other objects see the changes. That is why we say it's a global variable. So the last update to the static field will be the one that is considered. So let's assume we were to run this code that prints values at this time. So if we were to run it at this line before setting of these variables, that means the value of name would be cat, because this was the last time this thing got changed, and the value of age would be 2000. Okay, let's just confirm that. Okay, sorry, the value of age would be 23. Yeah, correct, because it was actually initialized at this value. Sorry guys, that was a mistake. Yes, it would be 23 because it was initialized here, and since this object age belongs to this age belongs to an object, it's no longer 2000 but 23. That's correct. Now let's say we actually put this animal dot this print statement here before calling this. In this case, the value of name would be the value of the last change that was made. So we see that we had animal here. That means the name dog was set first. Then after that, when the object gets created, name was changed to cat. Then after that change, then name was changed again to cow. So we should see cow as name, and we should see 30 as age, because 30, which is age, is actually belonging to this object and it was the last change. So if we run this, we should see cow 30 as we can see here. Okay, let's take this below and then put it here. So now we see that if we put this code snippet here, although we think we are actually initializing this here at the last time, it's not, because the creation of this object on the fly actually changes this value. That is why, although it was set to cow here, it changes to cat again. And if we were to have animal again, animal 1 equals to this, and put animal 1 here, animal 1 here. That means the value of animal 1 will be the last time it was changed, which is here, which is cat. And the value of age would not be 30. Why? Because age is not a global variable. It belongs to this object. But the value of age would be 23. Because when this object was created, age was assigned from 2000 to 23. So we're expecting to get we're expecting to get cat, then age would be 30, then cat again, age this time around would be 23. Yes, that's the output that we had expected. So guys, to prove to you that class loading actually do happen, the static variables, they get set value, I'm just gonna do something quite interesting for you. So I'm gonna have a static method here, static, let's just say string get name. Then we're gonna see out invoked in here. Then we're gonna return, let's return dog here. Then instead of initializing it like this, we're gonna say get name. So what we want to see is that this actually gets invoked before any other thing else. So what we will do, we will just do this. I'm just going to cancel all this code snippet that we have here. So if we run this code, we should expect this execution to happen. Because now when this class gets loaded into memory and the object gets created, before the object creation happens, then this method gets invoked. For that, we can even do this for you guys to see that. We can even say construct, so that we can actually see the order of execution, because a constructor is a special method that gets executed before an object is created. But we will see that this constructor will not get called before this invocation, before this call here. So what we are expecting here when we run this code, we are expecting it invoked, then construct. For you to know that during class loading, that's when the allocation of memory happens for global or static variables. This was just a proof. So we see we get invoked and construct. So guys, I don't want to make this a long video. We can talk a lot of things, so I would like to end here. I hope this was an interesting watch for you, and please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video or tutorial.